Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 141 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. This month, the month of May, this segment we're focusing on the area and aspect of our life framework is the financial area and aspect of our life, financial well-being, and everything that entails and everything it means to you, because this challenge is all about getting to know ourselves better, understanding what and how things impact us in the different areas and aspects of our life, and then what we can do about it. Every day, one little thing is all we're going to do, one little action step. And sometimes that action step is just getting to know how something has impacted us in the past that we might not have noticed before because it's at our subconscious level. So today we're talking about shortages and scarcity and lack. Now, what's interesting about this is I live in the United States, and for one of the first times that I can remember in my life, and I'm sure they've happened when I was younger, when I was a child or something, for the most part, I have gone through my life without there being any shortages, literal economic shortages. You know, we learn in economics that as demand for a product or service goes up, the supply goes down, prices go up, inflation. And then as the prices go up, more suppliers come online and start producing, not online, but come into the marketplace and start producing those products and services that were in short supply. Yet, sometimes for political reasons, shortages are created on an artificial and purposeful basis, right? To control the masses. And we had never really seen this on a scale in the United States until recently. And it's been happening with alarming regularity to maintain control by a bunch of politicians that have had control for a long time, and then want to keep people in fear and desperation. Because what does a shortage or a lack of something do in our lives? It makes us afraid. It makes us feel scared. Think of the poor moms right now that are being impacted by the baby formula shortage. If you're a woman and a mom, which I am, I breastfed my son for a little bit, but work made it really impossible. It was like one of those situations. So he was on formula for, most of the time that he needed, supplementation his whole first year of his life, except for about 6 weeks, right? My daughter, on the other hand, I breastfed her the whole time. And then I don't know that she ever even had formula. She might not have, because I was in a different work environment and situation where that made breastfeeding easy and possible, and I was with her. So I think maybe I only breastfed her 8 months, and then so she might have had a little formula, but it's 27 years ago, so I don't even remember back then. But I know that lots of women can't or don't choose to breastfeed, and they depend on baby formula. Fortunately, my granddaughter is just over a year old and done with baby formula. But I got to tell you, if even baby food and things, you go to the shelves and there's nothing on the store shelves, and it creates this feeling of doubt, fear, worry, and panic. What am I going to feed my baby? I mean, I can't think of anything worse or more fear provoking or anxiety and depression causing than worrying about how you're going to feed your baby, right? So whatever the source and the reason for shortages or our inability to get things that we've counted on easily being able to obtain in the past. Think of toilet paper in the beginning of COVID. I personally believe that was a 100% artificially created fear-inducing event that was unnecessary. And I say that because I used to manufacture toilet paper. First job out of college was working for one of the biggest toilet paper manufacturers in the world. And so, given what I know about the inside of that industry, there is no reason that the store shelves should have been out of toilet paper, and that toilet paper should have been in low supply. And, unless everybody at all the paper mills and paper plants in the United States came down with COVID simultaneously, there's no reason that should have happened. So again, just my opinion, no actual proof that there was mishandling or withholding of toilet paper in the distribution chain. But obviously somewhere in the normal distribution chain, things broke down, or people just went crazy and all thought they had to have, tons of toilet paper to survive the 2-week pandemic, then the month, then the months, then the whatever. So there's huge lessons learned there about for us, and there's things that we can always do. But that doesn't help in the short term when we're feeling that sense of panic and anxiety and doubt, worry, and fear that's generated when we feel like there's a lack or a scarcity or a shortage of something. A lot of times we just need to, I find when I'm close to out of something or worried about getting something, I get force myself to get creative and think of, well, what are other solutions for this, right? I mean, I'm not going to discuss the toilet paper solution, but there's always alternatives to toilet paper, right? We can get creative and come up with ideas on how to handle that. Uh, so, but it's one of those things that we take for granted. It's an automatic thing that we've had plenty of in most of our lives, at least here in the United States, right? So, and I'm only talking from my own experience. So it's something that when it was in short supply or not available, it caused people to actually panic, right? Same with the hand sanitizer and all the other things associated with COVID, which is, I'm sure down the road, history will go back and review all of the events that happened in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Probably with shock, horror, and dismay is my guess, because it was such a convoluted, manufactured political mess. Again, my opinion based on my experience. And for some of us, it wasn't that painful. For me, I had been kind of self-isolating for a couple of years as my vision has deteriorated. So to me, selfishly, it felt like a whole lot of other people joined me in the challenges and the situations that I had been just going through. I know that seems weird, but I think that's what helped prepare me for COVID. And then I realized I can't just sit here and do nothing. I need to do something. So I created the Get Up and Go challenge, which is, kind of enrolled into this challenge. So today, all we're going to think about and share in the comments, we're going to think about our experiences, our personal experiences, nobody else's experiences, nothing that's going on in other countries or other parts of the world, our own personal experiences, because those are the ones that really matter. When have we experienced the feelings and the emotions and the thoughts and the beliefs of shortages and scarcity and lack? And then we're just going to share one thing in the comments below, and one thing that we've experienced a shortage or a lack of. I would think for a lot of people, it's been toilet paper was the first time in our lives we really had a lack or a shortage of something we couldn't get our hands on that we were used to getting our hands on. And since the pandemic, lots of things on store shelves have been missing, right? So it's been kind of this trickle effect. When you shut down your economy for months on end and you shut down entire industries and businesses, it takes a little time to get that engine rolling again. So just share one thing. Curious your takes on shortage, lack, scarcity. I personally believe that every human need we have, we can get our needs met if we're creative enough to find different ways to solve the situation, the challenge, the problem, versus I have to have this one brand. If I'm out of Coke, and somebody will probably say, I'm talking Coca-Cola or pop of some sort. If there's no Coke on the store shelf, I'm going to go into a panic. That is a 100% self-created, artificial desire, not a true shortage of a product or service. If we're dependent on one brand or one source of something, we can get into trouble. I found that in business. I had one supplier for a lot of the raw materials in my manufacturing business, and that person committed suicide, totally blew up their business when that happened, and I couldn't get I did figure out there's always alternate sources, creativity, right? How to continue to run and operate. But I also learned a huge lesson that it's up to me to plan and prepare and have contingency plans and backup plans, especially in my business. I'm like, well, if I do that in my business, why wouldn't I do that in my life? So things that I ever think might be a concern that I run out of. And I actually have had to go further along the lines of this with my vision. I don't drive. I haven't driven for a couple of years now because it wouldn't be safe. And so I have backups of certain things that I know are important to me. And if I run out of it, it's going to frustrate me or stress me out, certain types of makeup or something, or, milk, the staples, milk, butter, eggs, and I don't drink milk, but things like that. I want to make sure I have them on hand and a backup on hand so that if I can't get to the store, or I don't have somebody to get to the store for me, if I don't feel like walking to the store and carrying everything home. But now that COVID, one of the benefits of that is we can get, delivery right to our house, right to our front door of just about anything we can imagine. And so with every bad thing that happens, there's always some good things that happen out of that. All right, I've been rambling enough. Have an awesome day. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything I can help you with. All we're doing today is thinking about what freaks us out and causes us stress or anxiety if we can't get our hands on it. And it could be anything. I used to be that way with caramels. If I didn't have caramels in the house, I was, I'm going through a phase where I'm not eating sweets and things right now for a little while, just to try to reboot my metabolism. But if I didn't have caramels in the house, I'd be like, I need caramels in the house. I have to always have caramels in the house. What a ridiculous thing, right? All right. Have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow.